Okay, let's turn that back up. Okay. Hello. Anybody who decides to watch this? This is left for random talk. Nope, wrong button. My co-host is a little busy right now. Getting himself situated. Oh, here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome back to Left for Random Talk.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back.
Yep.
This
This
is
is
now
episode 3.
Yeah. Technically speaking.
No, this is definitely episode 3, but yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, if we're not counting the fuck up that was episode 2, then yeah.
Okay. We're gonna clarify something here. We love Bill. We love him very much. He's like a brother to us. And also also the pun machine and all that jazz. But because me and him get along so well, it's hard for us to stay focused for very long.
Yeah.
And another issue is that we tend to talk over each other. Like, we're not used to talking physically with each other, but we can type to each other all we want. So
But,
we're gonna try
sorry.
and minimize the amount of times we're gonna have Bill on the show, because we want this to be good. We want this to succeed.
Yeah.
No offense to him.
Yes. Also, we might have someone joining us for one of the topics later tonight. Unfortunately, he's not online right now. He's probably still at work.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't blow through all these topics too quickly before he gets a chance to get on. So here's hoping. Actually, let me go ahead and link the stream to a few other places. Why not?
I've linked both the Twitch link and the YouTube link to multiple groups that I'm a part of. Usually the ones that Yarrow and friends are a part of. So that's not going very far. But studio, no, not there.
So what was this about the other group that you did one?
There's a YouTuber I watch on, well, obviously on YouTube, and I joined his group, and I'm starting to regret it, like within 20 minutes of joining. Their group likes to make a lot of gay jokes and just be really awful.
Oh. But wait, how do you mean like awful?
Like, I'm getting distracted by Minecraft. Like, they call each other like really awful names. I don't really want to get into it, really.
Alright.
But I just know that if I gave the link to them, they would destroy the show.
Probably. Also, on a side note, I need to vent this right now because I'm a little on the piss side. And I'm directly aiming this to someone. And you know who you are. Whoever the hell decided to leave the Gmod Steam group community and take down a bunch of models, let it be known this. You are an asshole. And you basically fucked over a lot of people right now because those models are almost impossible to find now and very well might not exist anymore. So I hope you're proud of yourself, and I hope you're proud of what you did. And know this, we hate you. We hate you with every fiber of our beings. Have a good day, and I hope your car burns down. All right.
Oh my god. Why did I tab back to that group?
What did you do?
We should be getting on with the show, but there's a teeny tiny voice group that was recently built just to play Warframe. And somebody added a friend named Lemon Party, and I looked at the picture. You know those still images of Olympic divers as they dive into the pool? Just those weird faces they make?
Yeah.
That's their icon. It's just a constipated Chinese guy.
Funny. Actually, wait a minute. They play Warframe? Who is this YouTuber?
Not the YouTuber. It's just a tiny voice group of friends.
Okay.
The YouTuber I watch plays Ark, mostly Ark.
Okay.
Anyway,
we'll talk more about it
let's
later.
focus on the show. Let's focus on the show.
All right. So as per usual, we have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 topics for the evening. 2 for her. The rest are mine. Because apparently I'm the only one who does the work here.
What?
No, I'm joking. Anyway, so our topics tonight are Serious Sam 4 finally announced. The hype is real. Should there be a part 2/sequel to Undertale? Is a part 2 a good idea? What would or should it be about? God of War, War 4, Kratos actually a likable character? How the story holds up to the other games and some issues we may or may not have with it. Could Pacific Rim work as an animated series? Would it be interesting and could it push models and toys for the series? Dark Souls 1 Remastered. Thoughts? I guess we should also just make that as like our thoughts of Dark Souls in general, I suppose.
Oh, I have tamales upstairs.
make it a bit more general so it's not too boring.
Yeah.
And finally, our last topic for the evening, Jurassic Park back in the day. The crazy ideas, the comics, and the failed TV series.
Not to mention all those toys, which actually succeeded.
Yeah, that's actually why I picked that, so we could talk about them. You see, I plan all this ahead of time, secretly from my underground volcano lair.
Too late. Someone found you.
Exactly. Anyway, so let's see which topic we should do first. What would take up the most time?
Tricky, because one of them is very, very tricky these days.
Yes.
I like that you're anonymous Ifrit for me. So you're a demon, but you're green. Well, do you want to wait on Dark Souls since your friend isn't here?
Yeah. Let's push that one all the way to the bottom of our list.
Yes, let's push it into the butt.
Let's push it into the dragon butt. There's no joke. There's actually an enemy in Dark Souls that is literally a dragon's butt.
Okay.
It's like, yes, the dragon butt.
Okay.
Trust me, if he gets on, I'll show that later. Don't worry.
How about we start with Undertale, because that's the tricky one.
All right. Well, we're starting with Undertale. And look at that. The fans are already plotting our demise.
I'm just going to get a link to the game on Steam and paste it in the chat for Twitch and in the description for YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, before I forget, this is a quick reminder for everyone. The Mobile Suit of the Month vote is still up.
It's at the very bottom of the description.
So if you guys want to come in and vote, you got about a week left because next week we are going to be doing the Mobile Suit of the Month. Because technically speaking, the month is over. So anyway, so Undertale Part 2. That is.
Whoa, you're roboting.
Well, it makes sense. I am a goof.
Yeah.
Am I fine now?
Yeah, you're okay now.
All right, so Undertale, a sequel to Undertale. It's gonna be interesting.
We're gonna try as hard as we can not to give spoilers, but if you haven't seen the ending of it, then already by now, then wow.
Well, I'm going to say this right now. As someone, I mean, I do like Undertale. I love how it feels. I love how it plays. I love the characters. It's all great. It does feel like a little microverse of sorts.
Yeah.
But as a result, I, amongst many others, kind of like want to know where this story would end because of how popular and how interesting it is. That said, I will say this right now. There are two, well, one's a game, the other one is kind of like a pseudo game comic thing that does explore a aftermath of what Undertale does. The first one is kind of like Undertale Happy Ending Mod or something like that, which basically adds an epilogue to the main game of Undertale. And from what little, again, I didn't really pay much attention to it because it was very much in an early development stage, and I only saw it through a YouTuber who does like Undertale comic dubs. A good guy actually, pretty funny. Gay fellow though, so keep that in mind.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm just letting everybody know that ahead of time.
I don't really
Anyway.
know why that needs to be pointed out. There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh no, I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I'm saying it's like that's his personality, that's his thing. That's his whole shtick. That's what we meant to say. Awkward silence. Anyway, so basically he showed it off. He showed off this the early stage of the Undertale happy ending mod, and it was pretty basic. You know, everyone came up to the can I say this? Like, it's technically like a spoiler.
Well, there's technically there's no defining ending, so.
Well, this is the happy ending one, like I guess the true ending in quotes here.
Is there any way you can make it vague?
Oh, well, basically everyone's up is what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
So it was I don't know how far it's progressed since I've seen it. I think it was like years ago or something like that. But I will say this: the ending just has basically everyone living out the lives they wanted to live out, in the underground. And it's pretty sweet. It's pretty interesting. It was very clearly still in development, but it was pretty much just, it was a good thing. That's all I can really say. The other one, however, is a much darker and very much what the fuck. But it is technically a continuation of one of the endings for the game, and that is the what's it called? The normal ending. Where you don't pick to kill everyone and you don't pick to save everyone. Just basically, you go in, you get out. That's the end of it. And I think I should spoil the normal ending one, or the normal ending, mostly because I don't think a lot of people will be going after that one. Their whole thing is either genocide or pacifism.
Mm-hmm.
So so I'm going to put it here. Warning for anyone who's going to do neutral, um, the neutral run of Undertale.
Just so you know, the neutral run of an Undertale is where you only kill one person, just one.
Yeah, well, technically speaking, yes. So basically, after you've killed, yeah, I said spoilers in this one. So after you kill Asgore at the end of the game, Frisk, the protagonist, leaves through the barrier. That's basically what happens. But because of that, there's no one else to rule. Toriel remains where she is. You know what happens basically. Everyone still remains as they are, but it's basically just it's very serious for everyone right now. Like supplies are starting to run low. That's basically what the normal ending entails. Undyne takes control of the kingdom and tries to keep things spinning along. In this version of this, I guess, epilogue or continuation of the story, things have gotten a lot worse for the underground. Food is at an all-time low. The monsters' morales are also fading. Magic is leaving the underground. Just things are starting to fall apart in the
Yep.
worst possible ways. And this leads to all the monsters from the underground turning to very serious desperation. And this is where the things get worse. You in this comic series, which I think is being turned into like a Flash game. I know it started as a Flash game, so it might continue as that. In this version of Undertale, you play as this little girl who falls underground and very clearly has had a bad life. In it, you start to, think. Basically, it's how do I put it? It's like imagine if Tim Burton designed Undertale. That's basically how everyone looks.
Yep.
Very gaunt, very monstrous, very very horrible.
Yep.
And as of right now, the protagonist is very seriously hurt, and it does show this very dark, very twisted version of an ending. Uh, I don't remember the artist's name. I think it was like Apple Seed something like that. Well, basically, just look up horror tale, and you're bound to find the comic somewhere. But again, like I said, it's not for the faint of heart. This is a very adult version of, I guess, a more realistic / adult version of Undertale. So approach it with a mature mind and be prepared to see things that might keep you up at
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
You laugh now. You laugh now. But that said, it does have a following, as does the happy ending mod. So, in my opinion, at least, I do believe it's possible for Undertale to have a sequel. People are clamoring for a continuation of the game, even if it's a sequel or just basically a prologue describing,
Like
just
even
like,
that small little game of Papyrus helping Santa Claus, people loved that one. It was just a tiny little game. It was like Mario, only a lot different, a lot difficult.
exactly, exactly. And that said, like I said, people, I don't think the Undertale fandom has really faded. If anything, they're more like dormant but still active, like a
Uh,
plant.
the the fandom has, it just has a bitter taste in my mouth, and that's not just my coffee. Uh,
Very
sometimes
acrid.
Undertale is a wonderful little game. It's adorable. It's so well done, and on a programming side, it's really well done. And design wise, it's not the greatest. Like it is basically characters made in MS Paint, but
Yeah,
the fandom has issues. There are issues in it. I'm not gonna get too
like
far
any
into it,
fandom.
but I'm not gonna get too into it. But y'all need to calm the fuck down.
You all need Jesus.
No, no, no. Y'all need to calm the fuck down. Same with the Steven Universe fandom. Jesus Christ.
Everyone just needs to calm down. It's great, but don't ruin it for everybody else.
Somehow the Homestuck fandom has been just fine. They haven't done anything remotely like this, or if they have, and I
I
just don't care.
I think that I think the fact that how crazy Homestuck is to begin with, and
They don't
how
need to.
exactly like just how ground to down to earth Homestuck really is, and at the end of the day, kind of explains that.
Yeah.
Plus, the creator is a complete and total dick, so there's that too.
Anyway,
By the way, let this
let's
be known. I'm not afraid to throw any creator under the bus, just so we know. Just so we're all
any creator that gets on our nerves, we'll throw under the steamroller.
clear. We'll throw them under the gallop.
But if they do
Yeah.
well, we'll put them on the seat of the steamroller
Yeah.
with no brakes.
Well, here's the thing as well. I want to say this is going with with the fandom. I admire many of the people's creativity with um with Undertale's fandom. I love the
Yeah.
alternate, I love a lot of the alternate realities they create, not because, I'm some rabid fan. No, it's purely because I love these what if scenarios.
I like
And these
there's an artist, like a mini comic series that I really enjoyed,
Mhm.
where Frisk went back for somebody, and they found out that after the game, sorry, that like halfway through the series, halfway through the game, they figured out that Frisk was blind and became her seeing eye dog from then on. And
Exactly.
it, I love it. Like it's absolutely adorable, even though the character has no way of feeling emotions.
Exactly. And again, it's these little things that these creators do for these alternate realities they make that really gives Undertale this unique life. And again, a large part of it is because what's the creator's name? Toby Fox? Is that
Yep,
it?
it was on the screen earlier.
Because
It's Toby Fox, yeah.
I see. And it also has to do with Toby Fox himself, because during the Sans boss fight for the genocide run, Sans does bring up the point of alternate timelines and all that stuff. So he created, or basically made, a genesis point where all these alternate realities can basically both be in canon and out of canon, which I think is pretty clever,
Yep.
even if it is a bit of a cop out. Yeah, but still, like I said, so this is to everyone there who does Undertale anything, with these alternate realities and everything. A lot of you, I'm going to say this right now, keep doing what you're doing, because
And
God damn
ignore
it,
the
it's
haters.
amazing.
Dear God, the haters do not control the fandom. The big artists don't control the fandom. Everybody's a part of it. It's like a family. Always treat it like a
Uh,
family.
I was about to say, before you so rudely interrupted me,
Sorry.
it's like slight salt. Now, I was going to say, keep doing what you're doing. It is,
And you
and
get
I'm
cut out.
pretty sure,
You cut out.
keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing and creative. One day, it might blossom into something completely unique.
Yep.
And
I'm mostly just like I'm mostly ranting about how awful certain fandoms can be, because I've seen a lot of good
all fandoms do.
I've seen a lot of good friends just fall apart because of fandoms. So
Exactly. I mean, you can be a fan of something and you could be a part of a fandom. You have a level of autonomy of yourself, you know?
I'm still a part of the Minecraft fandom, even though I don't draw Minecraft very much anymore.
True. I will say this, though. When I said it will blossom into something new, it was actually in reference to what inspired Undertale, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, ironically enough, there is a very, very, again, this is a slight note, but it is still relevant. There is an RPG series on Steam which is very much inspired from Earthbound. It's one I've mentioned before. You ever heard of Lisa at any point?
No, but I do know that Undertale was inspired by Earthbound.
Yeah.
I know that one. Also, a funny thing that we mentioned Homestuck, Toby Fox made a majority of the music for Homestuck.
Oh yeah, that's very obvious when you hear his tracks and then put it against Homestuck's.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very slight. It's a melody. He makes these melodies you can easily pick out.
Yep.
Anyway, so like I was about to say, it's that games and Earthbound did inspire Undertale, which is ironic because the Lisa series is not good, and I don't mean not good in terms of like poorly designed or built or anything like that. No, I mean like, do you want to feel sad? Do you want to like have a good day and then just feel sad all of a sudden? That's the best way I can describe that series. Just, you know what? I'm too happy today. I need a kick in the teeth. That's basically what it is. Don't put it on screen, whatever you do. Don't
I'm
do
not.
it.
I'm looking at Serious Sam. But you said that, I started thinking of the villagers. Yeah, you win. What do I win? A sad feeling. Oh.
Oh no, let me do it. Yay! What do I mean? A sad feeling. Oh.
We love those guys so much.
Yes. But
Kudos to
and
Element
I guess
Animation.
so. I guess this means we should move on to the Serious Sam or the news of Serious Sam 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one.
All right, so yeah, after what was it like? When did the last one come out? 3 specifically.
I'm on it right now. It came out in 2011.
So almost 10 years ago.
Almost.
Again, it's almost. Serious Sam 3 came out with. I'm going to say this right now. I was never introduced into the Serious Sam series as a kid. I grew up with Doom, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, those kinds of games. But I've always been aware of Sam, but I was never officially shown, hey, there's this game, you know? It was always there. I just never played it. It wasn't until I met HH that she fully showed me the Serious Sam like IP and everything, and then I was hooked. I was like, oh my god,
where has this
is
shit been my
amazing.
whole life?
Exactly, just basically like what have I been comatose? Is that it?
The best way to describe Serious Sam is survive with insane guns. Just that's just it. Run and gun. That's all it is. You go through levels shooting quite literal cannons from a pirate ship. You shoot miniguns, laser guns, double barrel shotguns, pistols. And in Serious Sam 3 Battle for Earth, you use a sledgehammer in your own hands to kill critters. And you just survive waves and waves of these horrifying aliens, and it's so much fun. No matter how many times you die, it's still fun.
In fact, I'll say this right now. For a better way to describe it is basically, imagine Doom, but with even more ridiculous weapons.
Yeah.
Exactly. Serious Sam 3 I did enjoy 2. I did find myself laughing at some of the jokes, even again, several years after the game came out, which should tell you how good the jokes are then.
And Serious Sam 2 did get a remake, but
true. However, 3 or the first, what is it? The first encounter is it called? Or no, Battle for Earth. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what 3 is called.
But the third game really takes it does a bit of something weird for the series up until that moment, and it's basically take what was at this point something silly and try to make it a bit more and serious, for lack of a better term. At least at certain in certain areas. I mean, Sam himself is still this very light-hearted badass
who makes
isn't afraid
puns all the time.
Exactly. Who isn't afraid to crack some jokes every now and then mid-fight, or state the painfully obvious, like in the case of a cell phone. It's like if anyone got that one, congratulations.
No, I want to cut in and say this because I remember I watched a guy called Rad Brad play this game. I watch it every now and then, and he kept comparing it to Duke Nukem Forever, and this game, like, even though it does kind of like the same mechanic where Duke will make a really shitty joke, this one does that, but it's good.
It's tasteful.
It's actually good, and I love this game so much. But I'm gonna keep letting you say your piece before I start exploding.
Exactly. Thank you. 3, like I was saying before, 3 does a serious approach to the franchise. And for better or for worse, in some cases, it's a nice distraction. I mean, I will say this from a technical standpoint, the levels are not that, it's not that interesting, unfortunately. It is all, you know what I mean? It all blends together after a while. And yeah, it's fun to kill things, but it would have been nice to have a bit more variety in where you're going, not just here's the desert, here's a town, here's the desert with temples.
Hmm.
However, that said, the levels are so large and expansive that it doesn't matter if they're all samey because the enemies are just pouring in and you're so focused in killing these massive beasts, aliens and suicide bombers and all that crap that that you don't that the levels being samey and repetitive actually work in its favor because you're not distracted. And I will say this: the game unfortunately did end on a major cliffhanger, and the fact that it's been so long since that's happened, it has kind of irked a lot of people, myself included. It's like, God damn it, not again. Which isn't Sam kind of known for doing that?
Hello, sir.
Hmm?
I believe that's your dad in YouTube chat.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Oh yeah, it is that. Hola,
That's all.
baba.
There's a lot of blood and explosions on the screen, and this basically sums it up. Death and destruction, but it's awesome.
Exactly. That's basically how Serious Sam plays. And to be quite honest, the like I said, the third game is interesting and it does lend itself to a lot of mods, customization, and if you are in the Gary's mod community, a lot of models worth pulling from the game and making some amazing artwork with it in Gary's mod. Unless you're complete and total cunt who decides to leave and take all his models with him, like
Okay,
a
okay, you're still salty about that.
I'm pissed beyond words.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the big question I have to ask about this now, even though we saw a teaser for this new game, is this: where do we go from here? What should we expect?
Well, in the teaser, we see Sam like driving around on a motorcycle, shooting suicide bombers, and then driving right into a legion of suicide bombers, like head on, which is not something you do in the game ever. You run away from them. Uh, in in Battle for Earth, we're left at a cliffhanger that Sam went through a portal in hopes of saving the world. What I want to know is this new game going to be a remake of one of the previous ones, or is it going to be continue? There's a suicide bomber, or is this going to be continuing the story like where it left off? Like Sam goes through the portal. Where is he going to go? Are we finally going to get closure in this series? Highly doubt it.
Part of me wants to believe that it of the third game, mostly because the guys behind it have always been good about making sequels to their games, not remakes or rehashes. They always move forward, even though it doesn't feel like they're moving.
Damn it, wrong button.
That said, though,
I'm putting the link for Serious Sam.
I see. 3, yes. However, that said, I believe that I want to believe this is a sequel because these guys have never given me any reason to assume it is not a sequel. They never have given me a reason not to believe they'll move forward. Because let's be honest, they're pretty good guys.
Mm-hmm.
They do their job well.
Yep.
I just feel a bit sad that every time the mainstream gaming public is so just mean in general towards this. Like, I understand if a game comes out and there's not much to do and they charge $60 for it. I understand that, and I understand when your rage is justified. However, to bash these guys and say they're lazy or shit like that is just that's uncalled for. Like I'll admit there are problems with the third game, no doubt about it, and I would be more than happy to list them off. But honestly, at this point, does it work? Does it run? And is it fun to kill shit? If that's yes across the board, then the game's fine. And that should be the standard we hold it up to, in my opinion.
Oh, this image is another sum up of the game. A giant demon, and Sam's just standing there with a shotgun. That sums it up.
Oh, hang on. I know who this other person is. Gabriela. Hola,
Hello.
Gabriela.
But
Father's wife.
even like the previous two remakes for like 1 and 2, and even there was actually another game that came out called Serious Sam Fusion. I haven't looked into that one really, but I have it in my.
Was that the VR one?
I think that's the VR one, yeah. But
Let me see.
even the remakes, they kind of they cleaned up the previous two games, and they actually twisted them so their story ties in with the third game a little bit. But it's an odd order. It's a very strange order. I don't remember it too well, but I think 2 happened right after 3, and 1 happened right after 2. No, before 2. So it's just so jumbled, and it's mostly because of outside interference, not with the player.
Yeah, again, this is the issue when arcade games or very old games back in the day are given a story to retroactively be a part of basically the latest version that might have a story. This is the pitfall and the issue with such things. Also, yes, Fusion is the VR one.
Yeah.
That said, though, I will say this as well. Serious Sam, in the latest years, 2000, going back a few years, people have been clamoring to have Sam come back for a while now. We had a cameo of him in 2 games. One is Shadow Warrior, which is basically think like the great grandfather to Duke Nukem and Serious Sam, that kind of game. And what's the third one? What was it? And the Talos Principle, having Sam, both his voice and the character, in the game as an Easter egg. So, like I said, Sam, unlike Duke Nukem, who's been forgotten and basically everyone just kind of left behind after Forever came out, Sam still holds weight as an FPS juggernaut of his time.
Yep.
So honestly, like I said, honestly, he could, he can return, and I think, in my opinion, he should. Because let's be honest, he's not done anything to get on people's nerves, and honestly,
his jokes are bad, but they're good kind of bad.
He's like your cool father who
tries to be cool.
Exactly, but in a good way. Like he means well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember
I
when I was really little, I watched my cousins play one of the Serious Sam's games, and this actually kind of tells you a lot. It was on the GameCube. Usually, games like that aren't on something like the GameCube. Weird.
Given the time as well, and the fact that the GameCube was the GameCube technology of the time, but also one that a lot of people didn't want to cop on because Nintendo.
Yeah. So. Slowly looks at Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Exactly.
Oh, that was great. But no. I am super, super excited for this new game. I can't wait for it to come out. I don't care what the reviews are going to say about it. I'm going to love it no matter what.
Exactly. Like, to me, just like with Serious Sam, if it plays well, controls well, and is a stable game, and doesn't pull any BS microtransaction or any shit like
There
that,
is
I'll
no
be.
way that Serious Sam would do that.
Don't jinx it. Again, we thought about. Look what happened then.
We thought about what?
We thought the same thing for a lot of our childhood games.
Ah.
Look what's happened. Need I say more about the Battlefront situation?
Oh, good gods.
Exactly.
I don't even play Battlefront. I've never seen that creature before. What the hell?
Yeah, VR adds new beasts into. Fusion adds new beasts.
This isn't Fusion. This is the second encounter.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, so a lot of the remakes for the other Serious Sams include new beasts, revamped things.
I think I said it. I think I said this in a previous episode, or maybe I haven't said it yet. But like, obviously, Serious Sam is going to be banned in a lot of other countries, mostly Australia, because of the gore and stuff. But this is I don't even know why I'm bringing it up, but they have settings to change the gore into candy and sprinkles, quite literally. And I love it. I just love how these guys make this game to still be really action packed and kind of intense, but still kind of understanding that teenagers and adults aren't going to be the only people who play the game.
Who want to play? Yeah.
Yeah. If you're having a child that's like 5 years old playing this game, what the hell is wrong with you?
You said it's like, yeah. Please note who else is in this chat and what he allowed me to play.
Oh, my dad used to play like Resident Evil 1 and 2 while I was like 6.
Exactly. You see, this is the badassery that children need nowadays. Everything's too damn soft.
Yeah.
Where are the toys that would poke children and make them bleed? What happened?
Yeah. But no, like I don't care if they do the microtransaction bull crap. The game is still going to be fun. Cuz odds are if they do that, it's just for cosmetics.
Oh, again, that opens a whole other can
of
we
worms.
can get into. Yeah, we can get into later. In fact,
Let's be fair. If you play multiplayer as Serious Sam, somebody is going to be the guy with an afro and pink glittery pants. There's just no escaping that.
No. Hold on. This is the problem we're facing nowadays. The microtransactions are no longer cosmetic only. Again, like I said before, Battlefront, the latest Battlefront game, it got the reason why it had such a big controversy and why it's still being affected to this day is because EA was selling people not just cosmetics, but things that made them better than other players. In fact, there was even, and it was all loot boxes too, which made it worse. And basically, it was basically gambling. And one ability made it so that if you play as Boba Fett and fly through the air and use like a specific skill that lets him shoot down insta-kill rockets on everyone, you can't kill him. He's invulnerable for that entire attack.
Wow.
It was designed to frustrate and make the people so pissed off that they would take out their credit cards and pay EA for a chance to have something to beat that.
I can definitely tell you that's not going to happen in Serious Sam because there's no friendly fire.
I hope so. I honestly hope so.
The only time there's friendly fire is versus, and even that it's only between friends usually. So I I have very high doubts that there's going to be the microtransaction thing going on.
I hope so. I honestly hope that doesn't happen.
Again, like the creators are great people, and I think they're going to. I'm hoping actually that they're going to look at like their previous chemistry and take that into consideration over what every other microtransaction based game is doing. They're especially going to look at Duke Nukem.
No. Here's the thing that they should look to, and that is Doom 2016.
That too. Yeah, definitely look at that.
Exactly. Like, just take that, take the level design, the incredible weapon sandbox, and give players the option to upgrade their base weapons. Trust me, that will make the game worth any price you can imagine. Flat out. Anyway, I think we've run this topic into the ground as it is. In fact, we've run it so much into the ground that I don't think it's alive anymore.
I am still super excited.
Well, I can't blame you. It's like how I would feel if a new Gundam was announced, which it was. It's like a new series was announced, which is Universal Century. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Insert the cat here. Anyway, so that's 2 topics down, 4 to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got our next one is the God of War, Pacific Rim, and Jurassic Park.
Oh, you're still the Ifrit. How about we go to Jurassic Park? Because this is something both of us really enjoy.
All right, so we're talking about Jurassic Park back in the day.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like, I actually don't understand this topic really. Or we're talking about like the old like toys and merchandise stuff like that. Is that it?
Yeah, things that came out right around the first what's it called?
Movie.
The first movie came out, and kind of like throughout the 90s era with what Jurassic Park did.
Because I used going back into video games here, I used to play the Jurassic Park games for the Sega Genesis, and I loved it. I especially loved watching my brother be chased by the Rex.
Actually, my mother and I, whenever we would, because as a kid, I was never left in the house because my mother was extraordinarily paranoid. And I mean, like, she actually thought our triple locked house could be broken into. Again, let me state that again, everyone. Triple locked house. 3 doors to get in. She still believed that people could break in.
Given enough time, yeah.
It's like if you manage to get through one, okay. Plus the security fence.
We didn't get a single word of that.
It's like, congratulations, you got through the first door. Now here's the other 2 plus the security fence. Good luck.
Yep.
But no, whenever she would go out, I would always, come with her, and we would always go to various places, shopping, the mall, and everything. And one of the things we always did as we left, if I was good and we got everything done at a certain time or whatever, we would go to the arcade. And the game she and I would always go to play would be the Jurassic Park.
The one in the booth?
Yeah, we would always go to play that. Of course, I was always scared out of my mind because everything was so loud, but that fear inspired me to kill shit. Crazy, isn't it?
I didn't care for that game.
I know. Again, it was fun, and because I kind of grew up with it, there is a sort of nostalgic feeling I have with that game. And she played it too, and amazingly, she was really good at it. Yet nowadays, if she plays a game, she basically New games nowadays confuse her because she doesn't understand that the camera is her head. So she literally will keep walking and never turn the mouse.
My mom just,
Yeah.
my mom tried Skyrim when we still had the PS3. Yeah, PS3 upstairs. And she doesn't
Mhm.
understand like the camera controls, so she would only so she would quite literally control it like up and down and left and right, and that's it.
Exactly.
So she'll walk forward, turn the camera, walk forward, look up, look forward again, turn the camera.
Exactly.
Plus she would try and kill every single NPC she met.
Mhm.
She's one of
But
those.
anyway, so let's get back on topic. So, as everyone who probably grew up with Jurassic Park back in the 90s remembers, that movie spawned a whole lot of toys, comic books, and just
And book.
weird
Oh no,
shit
no, the
like,
books came before.
yeah.
My bad.
Uh, you know what I always found really weird and kind of disturbing?
What?
The dinosaur toys that had the chunk missing.
That bothered me too. I was so confused. Why do they have their ribs showing? Why is their leg torn open? What is going on?
Exactly. That always bothered me because, as a kid, I did find time. I was kind of like, wait, this isn't right. And, obviously it was designed because these toys used to have these kind of like, they had sounds to them. And obviously there was one button that made the thing roar like normal. And then when you touch the wound, it would screech out in agony.
That 90s kids
Exactly. You see
traumatized
my
since we
point.
were babies.
No, you see my point. We grew up with these fucked up toys and we're fine
Some of
for
us,
the
not all
most
of
part.
us.
It's like for the most part.
Yeah.
And I also remember toys also came with, there was the dinosaurs obviously, but there was also the human figures with it. But what's crazy is that these toys always came with cooler shit than what was in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's it called? Like grapple what's it called? Like grapple hooks and nets and vehicles that looked amazing, but were never in the films.
Yep.
And this this is what's always kind of like made me question like what they like. It always made me wonder what if they could make a Jurassic Park that was not no excuse me not a part of the movies, like try to branch off to their own thing. Of course, little did I know they did try to create a TV show for Jurassic Park. And good God, did that fail.
I can only imagine because I've never heard of it.
Well, basically, it was called Chaos Effect.
Oh, that
And
one.
yeah.
I know that one. There's an artist on DA, Hellraptor. They draw
Who
that a lot.
redrew that and bring them back into what they were meant to look like. Now, this is what I know only through pop culture osmosis and my own research. And what I know is that Chaos Effect was supposed to be a children's TV series, which was kind of like with kid actors and everything like that. So it would have been terrible to begin with. But what made the series interesting is that the something happens on Jurassic Park, like the island, kind of like what's happening now with the latest movie. And basically, what happens is that they save a lot of dinosaur DNA, but what winds up happening is that the DNA begins to mix and mingle and it's basically mixing and mingling with the wrong kind of creatures. So it winds up creating more disturbing and bestial looking creatures than intended. Like a lot of these things were never seen or meant to be in nature.
And
And
the
it's
one dino that the people talk about the most is the Ultimasaurus.
exactly, which was basically the fall. Basically, this is what it was made up of the following dinosaurs: Velociraptor, T-Rex, Ankylosaurus, and Triceratops.
Um, that YouTuber I follow who plays Ark,
Mm-hmm.
he's spending almost $1,000 just for somebody to add Ultimasaurus to an Ark mod.
Oh God.
I've
Well,
seen it. It
here's
looks good.
well, believe it or not, but there were toys of the Ultima
Mm-hmm.
that were released, but unfortunately, because the TV series never got off the ground, uh, a lot of these toys only saw shelf life for about a year before they were pulled off. So they were quite literally so rare that it only lasted a year. So if you didn't get it, it's like that kid who sees it wants to get it. Here's the horrifying thought. If you were a kid and you saw it and you didn't get it in that instant, you never got it. In fact, I'm pretty sure some kid is still bitching to their parent to this day about that.
You do realize that by now that kid is an adult, right?
I know, but I mean, like by some miracle, he discovers this podcast, calls his elderly mother, very obvious, strange dinosaurs attached to it. But it was also the actually, I should be sending these images, shouldn't I?
I have Ultimasaur from Ark in the stream right now.
Oh,
OBS is
and then
kind of freaking out on me a little bit, but we're okay.
okay, no, I have some of the images of the toys here. I can also show those.
There's
So
also
people
pictures
could.
from Hellraptor, but I don't want to show those without. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, all right. I'll send them to you.
Somebody even made it in Jurassic Park Lego.
Yes, this is true. Well, the designs are so crazy that a lot of people had to. Well, Lego basically had to say, you know what, fuck it,
No,
let's use these.
Okay, that is really freaky to me. That's really freaky to
What?
me. I'm looking at the image he sent. I have that raptor in the front.
Oh,
I have her. I have that thing.
you mean the one with the wings?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, that's freaky. Again, people don't know what's happening. It's like, what?
I'm going to add it. Don't worry.
Well, actually, we want to know what's fucked up. There was in fact, I'm showing you the toy right now, but for people who want to know, there was actually a version, or I guess a female version of the Ultima Rex, which had her back, the back armor plating removable.
The original,
And
the red one has that too. I was looking at the toys.
okay, well, the point still stands. It's a bit fucked up that not only did they sculpt and mold a rib and spinal column uh, to the figure, but the section of armor that comes off of the toy is also needlessly detailed.
Mm-hmm.
Again, what happened to us?
I don't know. It's worse when
Imagine,
when you go back and watch a Disney movie and you realize, oh my god, that was so racist.
oh God, we'll get into that at another time.
I don't want to get into that at all. That's Disney. That is Disney right there. I don't want to get into that.
Anyway, but that said, Chaos Effect had a lot of interesting ideas. It was very clearly supposed to be more like, the 90s future technology run amok with dinosaurs all over the place. That was basically what it was supposed to be. But Chaos Effect never really got off the ground. Again, the TV show was terrible and I believe got canceled after the pilot, in fact, if you could believe such a thing. And Not only that, but there was also the toys had a very short, more so than usual shelf life. So there was that too. In fact, if it wasn't for the internet, most people would assume these things would never exist.
Or just assumed it was somebody's OC.
Exactly. And again, you wouldn't be faulted for thinking that, my God, look at these colors. It is literally a repaint. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact, but here's the crazy thing I want to say this. Despite this series never coming to, what's the word? Despite these creatures never making an official appearance in anything Jurassic Park, outside of the no, excuse me, outside of the toys and the failed TV show, we still got hybrid dinosaurs to this, now.
Yep, in the
So
movie.
yeah, in the movies. Well, I guess the newest ones.
Mm-hmm.
But the question I have to pose to everyone now: do you guys think that, given if this next movie is successful, do you guys think that the what's the company that owned Jurassic Park? Universal.
Yep.
Do you guys think that if the movie does well and people are really receptive to these hybrid dinosaurs, do you think we actually might see realistic versions of Chaos Effect dinosaurs?
Uh, I don't think we will.
I
No.
mean, let me rephrase that. Not the very obviously recolored T-Rex there. No, no, no. I mean more along the lines of the raptors at the front. That's what I mean. Like very,
Um,
very obviously. Go ahead.
I still say yes and no. We're not going to get something as insane as the Ultimasaurus because, let's be honest, DNA can do a lot of things. It can't do that. The raptor is iffy. We might actually see something like that because that's more plausible.
Yeah, because in the third movie we did have the feathered raptor. So a
Mm-hmm.
raptor with with semi-functional wings doesn't seem so out there, at least in theory, at least. And again, you say DNA can do this, but I would like to remind you about the original the original hybrid dinosaurs for the fourth movie.
Oh boy. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember seeing that picture. Yep.
yeah. So before you start saying it's like, they
It's just when it
realistic, it's
came
like,
when it came to the Indominus, yeah, they had cuttlefish, they had frog, they had Rex and raptor, stuff like that. But what they didn't have was, I don't know, something outlandish like a stegosaurus or a cow or just something that wouldn't make sense. Like you
at
could
least in the
see
comics.
the theme with the Indominus. Like it's predatory, it's stealthy, it's adaptable, intelligent. Uh,
Exactly.
we're not going to get something like the Ultimasaurus because that is something so outlandishly different. That is something that is a child taking Lego pieces and smashing them together and calling it a castle.
True, true. But I will say this. If they did humor the idea of having the Ultima in a movie or, in general, I could see it possible, at least not with the colors, maybe a bit more toned down in terms of certain aspects. But I do see these creatures either A, making a cameo appearance in some data logs or something like that, or B, as failed experiments at creating similar, uh, oh god, not Ultim, Indominuses, the similar creatures to the Indominus. However, that said as well, I would like to remind I would like to remind you and everyone by extent that there is Jurassic Park Evolutions, and that game does. There are some Chaos Effect worthy beasts in that.
Yep.
So there's that too.
Personally, I'd like to see the Ultimasaur come back in some way, just maybe a little bit tweaked, a little bit different.
Yeah, like maybe remove the Triceratops aspects and keep the armored back, because that makes sense.
Oh no, the head is fine. Just change some aspects. Like, it's a giant dinosaur. I don't really think we need the sickle claws.
Yeah.
That was
Actually,
always the thing that disturbed me anyway. Like, I don't care for velociraptors because of that toe.
But it makes sense for them to have it. Again, this is a very small. This is what's the word? It is, in nature, it is a very predatory creature. That claw is necessary, especially if it's taking down larger prey.
Yep. So
Anyway.
I don't understand it for the Ultimasaur. If it's so big and so dangerous and powerful, it really should
Oh,
need that.
Yeah. That's obviously just there for intimidation factor.
Yep.
But anyway, actually, I do before we move on to our next topic, or give our final thoughts on this. I do have one question though, and this is more like in terms of like Jurassic Park, like in universe kind of thing. Do you honestly see Engine doing something more beneficial towards people, like breeding a more effective farm or food animal?
InGen will only now that since Hammond is gone, rest in peace, the actor and the character. It pains me on that one. InGen is only going to go for wherever the money is. Like, also now their newer owner is gone as well. I don't know why this keeps happening. The new owners just keep dying. Stop putting them on the island.
They're stupid, that's why.
And cocky. But
exactly.
InGen is only going to go to where the money is, and there's more money in making dinos for combat than there is for farming and everyday life.
True, but it depends on like what kind of would ask for that kind of farming thing. Because I could see them working with a farming collective, a group of people who basically have accumulated this money and say, here is what we want. We want to field test this idea. If it's successful, we'll give you the profits and, blah, 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 blah. They effectively make a partnership out of it. I could see that happening, but I'd also see it as not as plausible as most people would expect.
The thing is, like, as dangerous as the predators are in, like, the descriptions for each of them, the herbivores are just as dangerous. They will kill somebody.
Oh yeah, if you basically prod like an ankylosaurus into aggression and make it feel threatened, add some more armor to like cover the head in some areas, the underside, you have basically a walking tank at that point.
Yeah, there's really nothing that can kill that. Not even a tank.
Yes, exactly.
Well, maybe a tank. Maybe.
Anyway. But depends on it depends on the ammunition used too.
Yeah.
Anyway, still, I understand proceed military things like that because it makes sense. It really does at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we went a bit off topic there, but we kept it basically to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that kind of ends that topic, at least Jurassic Park. So,
do you want to take a break right now, or do you want to keep going?
Where are we right now?
We're at an hour and 13 minutes.
Really? We've only been doing this for an hour? Jeez.
Yeah.
Feels like we've been doing this longer.
I know.
Okay, we can take a 5-minute break. I'll keep calling my friend, see if he's there.
Let me add an image. I forgot to do that. Well, I need to anyway.
I had like 5. I thought you had like 5 of them already set. What happened?
I did, but I had to get rid of them so I could actually find out which one was which.
Mhm.
There we go. There it is.
All right.
All right.
All right, everyone. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. We will see you there.
Yep.
All right.
I will play the music as usual. Get up, stretch, do what you need to do. We'll be back soon. I'm gonna keep Flower Boy there as usual.
I regret showing that so much.
Yep,
See you in 5 minutes.
hang up the call. Nope. Keep pressing the wrong button. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, try again, Rev. I just sat down with a muffin. Yeah. We're back. Join call. Okay, we're all back. We're back.
All right. So, all right then. So that's been about 3 topics down. Now we're on to our last 3. Not too much tonight, so might be done actually before an hour's up, or just under 2 hours. Yay!
Yeah, hopefully.
Anyway, so
Let me check the chat.
still nothing.
Yep. So we got 3 topics left, and I'm going to nibble my muffin.
Of course. So our 3 topics are God of War 4, the Pacific Rim, and Dark Souls 1. Again, still no word from my friend, so we're pushing that last topic all the way to the end.
Oh,
Again.
Yeah, it's literally the last topic.
So I guess it's a toss-up between these 2.
I could flip a coin, or I could flip a stick of gum, because I grabbed a whole bunch of gum, too.
Nah, I'll pick one. We'll go with Pacific Rim since we're on a monster topic.
Yeah.
We'll leave the games for the end. So, Pacific Rim as an animated series. That is an interesting
one. Oh my god, you're now the anonymous duck.
Brilliant.
Yay, I love ducks. Anyway, Pacific Rim as an animated series would actually be pretty interesting. Like lately, I say lately, it's actually been like what, 2 or 3 years now. Lately, channel like Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, stuff like that. Giant monster fighting with robots has been quite a thing for a while. There's a Mega XL. There's, I don't know the one for Disney. I think it's just like Super X or something like that.
I think it is.
It's just something X, where it's basically Pacific Rim, but there's only one pilot and then 2 people making sure the robot's okay.
There you go. You see, the idea of fighting robot monsters is alive and well. People like it, and I will say this: as Pacific Rim 2 was coming out, I caught I think what is now my favorite joke, or a semi-official joke trailer for this, and it was basically Pacific Rim as a 60s anime.
Mech X4, that's what it was called.
And actually, let me see if I can find it. But it was amazing, it was cheesy, and I love it.
But if if the Legendary Pictures, I believe it's Legendary. Yeah, it's Legendary. If there's ever a time or ever a chance that they decide, I want to make Pacific Rim a TV show, they could, and it would be very, very successful.
People would watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I think it should be. I think, again, we haven't seen Uprising yet. I have had no time to go to the movies and see it. I might try to see it tomorrow. Unfortunately, the trailers have spoiled many of the fights, so I know how some of them end. Hollywood,
I still
why
need to
do you
see
do
Rampage. That's not Pacific Rim, but I just want to see Rampage.
All right. Again, we could try and do that tomorrow, all together.
I wish.
Anyway. But no, on a serious note, I will say this: again, if Pacific Rim 2 doesn't end in finality like what's it called? Like Pacific Rim 1 did, where it basically just said, okay, the world's safe now, then no, it was more like it was over. The war was ended finally. Doomsday, they put a stop to the apocalypse clock. They canceled the apocalypse. supposedly. But that's what I'm thinking. It's like if Pacific Rim 2 doesn't end with this, and it does have another cliffhanger ending, like um, I expect it to go, then they should make a series that follows after Pacific Rim 2, like what happens afterwards, and it would give them an excuse to have some more crazier kaiju designs, bring in more Jaegers to fight, better settings, all that stuff. I think it would be amazing. It could work. And hell, even if Pacific Rim doesn't end with that, with a cliffhanger, and it does kind of like the other one end in finality, then you could make a series about the war during Pacific Rim 1. Because we've all seen the intro to that, right?
Yes, we did.
Exactly.
Actually,
go ahead.
I have chocolate muffin in my mouth, so it's very sticky. There's actually comics that tell you the beginning, the war for Pacific Rim 1 that leads to the movie. They could take the comics and make that a series.
What I said is, yeah, there it is. We could do that.
Yeah, like we learn about what happened to Seattle because that's all that fucking matters. Because I live 3 hours away from Seattle and I love Seattle, so fuck you. I want to know what the hell happened.
I want to say this right now. I'm severely disappointed Puerto Rico does nothing in these movies.
Because you're not in the Pacific.
We're an oceanic people. We know how to fight oceanic monsters.
You're still not on the Pacific.
We fight giant monsters, for fuck's sake. We've been doing this for the past 200 years. I think we could be able to help them. I'm just picturing all the Puerto Ricans just very angrily staring at them as like, look at them. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And Japan's just reveling in it.
Go fuck yourself, Japan. It's just so... But no, like I said... Oh, actually, I think I found it. Or a snippet of... oh, no, it was a fan... Someone made a fan version of a Pacific Rim 60s cartoon. And my god, is it amazingly cheesy.
What the hell?
Yep.
I'm showing this on screen.
My father grew up with he grew up with Gundam and Mazin Kaiser. So if he was still here, he would have a field day with that. My god. But no, like I said, I would like to see just it could just be a short anime series, just maybe 6 episodes at most. I wouldn't be bothered by that.
Put it on Netflix.
I'd be happy with it. And again, what I would say is this. They have the potential to push amazing figures with this IP.
And they have the support.
No. Imagine, and this is for everyone who watches this in post, because we all know nobody watches this live. We're kidding ourselves at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like everyone who's, anyone who watches this in post when we upload it, you got to admit, imagine having a Jaeger or a Gypsy Danger model kit. A Jaeger you put together yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing.
Also, for the Puerto Rico thing, there was that online thing you could do where you could create your own Jaeger. But it was always the models that already existed.
Exactly, which is kind of like...
I gotta look through those because some of them are super dumb.
Wait, I found more of the fan-made thing. Oh my god, can we please get this as an actual series? Please? Oh my god. I mean, come on, people. 60s Pacific Rim. Come on.
Oh, that doesn't really look 60s. It looks more 70s.
Well, 70s, 60s. This is around that time now.
Because 60s TV was a lot different.
True. Wasn't even a thing. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, it was a thing. It was a lot different.
Yeah.
Holy
sure,
crap,
sure.
the image fits the screen perfectly.
Stuff. You see, it's all planned, ladies and gentlemen. It's all planned. But no, what I mean is,
I'm
what I mean
looking
is,
at the custom Jaegers. Ignore me.
it's okay. But what I mean is that again, uh, okay, what was the name of the company who was making Pacific Rim? What is it called?
Legendary Studio. Yeah,
Legendary Pictures.
Yeah.
Studios, yes. They are sitting on a potential gold mine of marketability with Pacific Rim. And they should be making this kind of shit. They should be selling custom, not even custom, sorry, never before seen Jaeger specifically for the fan. In fact, they did that with NECA. I've completely forgotten this. NECA actually created, let me see if I can find some images of it. But NECA did have figure-specific, um, Jaegers that were never in the movies, and these were often like some of the craziest and interesting designs. Like, of course, if you're ignoring the constant repackagings of Gypsy Danger with slightly altered battle damage. That is cheap fuckers. Yeah, that's right. I said it.
Oh my god. I'm loving these custom Jaegers I'm looking up. They're hilarious.
Dr. Congo.
Wait till you see the newest one.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you could see what she's sending me, I'd be amazed.
They're very dumb puns. It's not even worth it.
I saw monsters and I ran. Yeah, they do run. Ooh.
There's even one from Mexico.
Oh, no. Again, I'm amazed my friend isn't here because
And Chile.
he would have such a field day about that. You know, I showed him Neo Mexico and he was just stunned.
I am going to put this one on the stream because you need to see this.
All right. Again, ladies and sorry we're going off topic.
We're so going off topic because I am easily amused by things.
Well, no. Again, we're proving that Pacific Rim has marketability, even if it isn't in an animated form. Hold on, I'm waiting for the stream to catch up. I hate this 2-second delay bullshit. Particular Portugal.
Even Portugal, and they're not in the Pacific.
Well, it doesn't matter. Neither is Japan. No, wait, they are.
Yeah, they are. A majority, almost all the countries that are in the movies are in the Pacific.
Right. But no, like I said, so this is one of the NECA model figures they release. Unfortunately, these aren't model kits, though. These are action figures you buy, fully assembled out of the box. The one next to Gypsy Danger, I don't know what it's called. I didn't see a name for this.
Romeo Horizon, it says it in the title.
Oh, okay. And I know this one is like, okay, what's it called? Tactic Roman, which I guess this was the Japanese one.
Hold on, this is a very large image. I'm having to scale down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tickler. This is a very large image.
I did not intend it to be this large.
That's what he said.
I think we'll just have to shrink it down enough so you can see just the head.
There we go.
It's poking us like, hi.
Hello.
Exactly.
It's like that. It's like the guy from Romeo and Juliet.
Oh.
Hello.
Anyway, but yeah, so we've got that one, which I like the design. I like the very Zaku-esque head it has. Actually, no. You know what it actually reminds me more of? It reminds me of the Zugga, one of the aquatic mobile suits with the piston arms.
Mm.
Anyway, but no, like I said, NECA has turned out these Pacific Rim figures, and despite the various obvious attempt for them to keep reselling the same figure with slight alterations to them, they have released some of the more crazier looking, Jaegers and kaiju, like some we've never seen in the movies or even in the comics. It's purely created for this for NECA. So that said, in my opinion, I do believe that a Pacific Rim animated series of any sort should be made. Because let's face it, um, Pacific Rim does take a lot of inspiration from Evangelion and to some extent Gundam as well. So honestly, would it be so wrong to see this as an anime? I mean, would it have enough substance to stand on its own two legs? That's your cue.
Sorry, I'm typing in. Sorry.
I'm kidding. It's like just long pause. I'm like, go, say something. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm putting this. Whoa.
What?
I'm putting text because it doesn't sound like you're saying the name. It sounds like something worse, so I'm putting in text so people know what you're saying.
Oh, NECA. Look, I'm sorry, people. I wish they had a better name. It's like it's like an acronym for something. It's like, I don't know, Neo something something whatever. Yeah, and then wait about like 2 weeks later, and someone's going to be correcting me in the comments. Actually, it's like I said again. In fact, I would love to see a Pacific, like, this is what I would love to see with the Pacific Rim if they did make an animated series. This is what I would like to see. I would like to see how Jaegers were being built, like the very early models actually going toe to toe with the, very large, serious kaijus.
Whoa, you're roboting.
Like, right now?
Still roboting. Nope. No, it's really, really bad. Oh boy.
How about now?
Better.
How about now?
You're cutting. Now you're just cutting out.
Okay, it's normal now. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. Sorry.
You're coming in okay now.
Okay, good. Where was I going mental?
I have no idea.
I guess I'll just restart what I was saying. What I would like to see from an animated series is the very early days of Jaegers versus Kaiju. Like, I want to see the earliest prototypes fighting head to head with the Kaijus and just barely beating them,
Mm-hmm.
Like they're literally coming back with like chunks missing, or they barely win, or just something like that. Like, very similar to how Evangelion and even Gundam to some extent does their fights, with a lot of the mechs just getting so badly wrecked, you're amazed they're still functional.
I mean, let's be honest, they do that in the movies already. In fact, they lose Jaegers. But I understand what you mean.
Yeah. Just, it doesn't need to be like the movie. We can have some hope with these fights,
Mm-hmm.
And then just like Evangelion, just thrash it all on the floor. No, actually, I would love to see as well, like Jaeger-specific episodes. Like seeing the Jaegers we see in the films or the first film in their prime, like how they did, how they kicked ass in their day. Like I would love to see Charno Alpha fighting some big kaiju and just literally smashing its head in, or Crimson Typhoon destroying maybe 3 other horrible kaijus, just things like that to make us feel like what's the word? Make us feel for these robots in battle, and the pilots.
I'm still looking at custom Jaegers. But I am listening.
Fair enough. Again, I would like to see hell if the anime just winds up looking just like if they did this and it just wound up looking like the oh god, what's the word called? Looking just like a 60s to 70s anime, I'd be happy with that too. It would really give us that feeling of, what, this is serious cheese, but I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I would be happy with that, and hell, I think Guillermo del Toro would also be happy. Because let's be frank, he's the biggest weeb we've ever seen.
Yeah.
but god damn it, does he make amazing shit. And I ain't just talking about Pacific Rim, I'm talking about any other movie he's ever made. Anyway, what else? Or, it could be that, or I don't know. Again, I think the model making community would love to see, what's the word? The model making community, yeah, would love to build their own kind of Jaeger. And again, just like with how people build their own custom, like Gundams and things like that, they could make their own custom Jaegers and make some truly amazing things.
The Jaeger designer that I'm looking at right now, the site is defunct. It's gone, but somehow you can still find it through web archives.
Oh, okay. So like back channels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Also, there's one Jaeger. Here it is. The name called Romeo Blue.
That's
Ever heard?
Seattle.
The one with the fin in its chest.
I want to know what the hell happened.
You know what? I'm gonna look it up now. Since again,
Like,
I'm sorry.
I know what happened, but I want to see what happened.
Hold on. I know we're kind of rambling now, but I do have a reason for that. Our friend who is coming in for the Dark Souls part of this of tonight. What's the word? He's on his way now to his home, so we're just kind of like trying to waste his. Yeah, we're wasting as much time as humanly possible so he can get here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Pacific Rim Wiki. Let's see what happens. It's. Let's see here. It seems like, again, there's no official destruction of it. It just says he was destroyed.
Yeah.
Apparently, and again, this is mostly fan theories, a much larger kaiju, like we're talking about, what is it? How did they go again with the categories?
Category, like there was only ever one category 5. It's the one at the end. It must have been a category 3.
Well, from what I can tell, again, and this is like everyone's conjectures, but Romeo Blue fought against something in Seattle. Something. What?
It just kills me.
Okay, here we go. History. During the year 2020, Romeo Blue was deployed. Okay, here we go. During the year 2020, Romeo Blue is deployed to prevent the Category 3 Kaiju, aka Knifehead, from crossing the 10-mile point in Anchorage. When the Kaiju evades destruction, Gypsy Danger is deployed from Anchorage to Shatter Dome to defend the Miracle Myro. Later, Romeo Blue was deployed in Seattle to prevent a Kaiju from destroying the city. The Jaeger is destroyed when the Kaiju tears off its arm and smashes through the con pod, killing the pilots in the process. The remains of the destroyed Jaeger were then placed in the Jaeger graveyard at Oblivion Bay. So basically, he died protecting the city. That's actually kind of sad.
You actually see him in the intro.
Yeah, I saw the images.
Oh, poor Romeo Blue.
But at least we can assume that he probably killed the Kaiju as well.
Yeah.
Again, he died a hero. We should honor that. Again, it would be nice if my own homeland had a Jaeger of its own, but
and unfortunately now you can't even design that because the site is gone.
I'll personally mail Guillermo a letter requesting that the homeland be represented even in the smallest capacity.
Yeah.
Just please let the little frog rise.
if they do add your Jaeger, they're going to add something like the Kokui to it.
It's either the Koki or Vehigante design.
Probably both.
Actually, wait a minute. Didn't someone use that Jaeger creation thing and make two unique creatures? Oh yeah, here's the artwork. I just Googled it and boom. Wrong person. I almost sent it to my Mexican friend. It's like, the fuck is this shit?
There's even one for Jamaica.
I like this one.
Jolly Combat?
No, Jolly Combate.
Oh.
I like this.
I'm not going to share that on stream because that's somebody's artwork.
No, I know. But still. It brings me great pride that this is...
Oh, my gods. Somebody did that with a kaiju. I think it's the same person.
Yeah, it is. The El Vejigante, yeah, Category 3.
That's cool.
I like the face. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you know what? Fuck it. This is the official thing. I don't care if it's not in the movies. It's canon to me, damn it.
If you want me to share that on stream, you better find a link to the creator.
I think I can. Hold on.
Or wait, maybe I can find it here.
No,
yes,
I think
I can.
I got
yes,
it.
I can. Found it.
I already have it, but whatever. Again. Oh.
Gonna post their link in the Twitch chat as well. Because if I show somebody's artwork, I'm gonna definitely support them.
Agreed.
So now it's in the YouTube description and in the Twitch chat.
And while it's not canon, at least we have something.
And I'm gonna show these images on stream. I do know we have another topic we can talk about instead of just focusing on this.
Oh, we do. I really like Pacific Rim. I'm sorry. It's fun to me. All right, so I guess we've covered everything then, right?
Pretty much.
All right, so to sum up, because we did kind of go off on our own little tangent. Pacific Rim as an animated series. I say it should happen. Yes, I say it should happen. It doesn't matter who the animation team is behind it, as long as they do a good job, and a competent one at that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyway, our second to last topic for the evening. God, I hope he gets here before we get to Dark Souls. God of War 4.
I don't know anything about these games. Just putting that out there. I know of them, I just don't know anything about them.
Well,
Other
okay,
than blood. Lots and lots of blood.
oh, well, actually, here's the funny thing. You're not a walking blender in this one.
Yay!
No, that's not good.
Yay!
she doesn't care. She truly despises Kratos and everything he stands for. It's like fuck you and the horse you rode on. Literally. No, personally to me, I can't say I grew up with the God of War series like most people did. Like I didn't play it as much as a kid, and I didn't really play it as a teenager. Again, I was mostly just I didn't like Kratos. I didn't like what he did. And overall, I just kind of I've hated him from the beginning. I mean, I can respect the guy's strength and his ability to kill great beasts, but as a person, I I despise him. I wanted him to die intensely.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, however, in God of War, well, this is weird. Like it's supposed to be God of War 4, but it's every time you look for it, it just says PS4. It doesn't say 4. It doesn't have another title. It's just God of War. I hate that. I really do. Especially about games, you know, where they don't number the fucking thing. They just reuse the title.
Yep.
Anyway. That said, however, Kratos in this installment has actually, and I can't believe I'm saying this, matured. It only took him getting to 30, or sorry, 40, for that to happen. Talk about your late bloomers. Anyway.
Oh my god,
So,
I just realized something. I'm gonna not talk about that. No.
okay. Um, so God of War. So again, I haven't gone in depth into the story, aka I haven't watched the story cutscenes yet in full. I've seen snippets just enough to understand the story as a whole. And the basic summary is Kratos and his son want to get to the highest peak in all of the Norse realms so they can spread his wife's ashes on the peak. And that's about it. That's basically the story in a nutshell. However, unlike the other God of Wars, where basically Kratos has had this goal of kill Ares or kill anything, the gods and other creatures kind of come to him. It's like it all happens in, how do I put it? You know, it all happens like it just so happens to occur to him, which is strange. Throughout the journeys, you know, Kratos and his son kind of meet various individuals, you know, various people here and there. And ironically enough, one of the best characters in the entire game is a severed head that speaks. Yep. I couldn't make this up if I tried. In fact, it takes a much more creative mind than my own to make up this shit.
Well, let's be
So
honest. Like the most interesting character in Red versus Blue is a severed head that speaks Spanish. Nobody understands what the hell he's saying.
You know what's funny? I understand. I'm like, and every time he speaks, I just want to say, "Yeah, I know how you feel." But no, like I said, the head is like I said, the head is very interesting. Very, it's probably the best character in the whole thing because of just how alive he is compared to Kratos. Again, severed head. He is Mimir, and apparently he is like the top negotiator between gods and mortals. So kind of like Hermes, except not as mouthy. Or, sorry, as annoying. Mimir has no fear of Kratos because, well, he's been through worse. He's literally, when he's found in the game, he's literally merged with a tree that the roots can't be cut because Odin is pissed with it. And apparently he finds ways to torture him every day. So it's kind of like, okay, what was the Greek titan who always got his liver eaten by a vulture? What was his name?
I don't know, but you mentioned severed head. It's right there on the screen now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, that's him, Mimir. And also the world serpent, who for some
That's
reason
the one image that's popping up the most, just that snake.
Yeah, the world serpent, who for some reason has a beard.
Well, he's not really a snake. He's meant to be more like a dragon.
On the most technical scale, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Norse mythos tends to like merge the two species, which is crazy. Anyway, Mimir has no fear of Kratos, and apparently he knows everything, but is having memory issues a lot of the time. He's very chatty, very kind-hearted, and amazingly enough, he's the voice of reason in most of these things. Not that Kratos is like he wants to kill people. No, it's more along the lines of like he's trying to reason with Kratos as much as humanly possible, and try to keep them, for lack of a better term, like on the straight and narrow. Now, what's interesting is that again, throughout the journey, Kratos is actually hiding his past from his son. And this is something we've never seen Kratos do, is trying to hide what he is from people. In fact, when you think about him, he's always been, I am the god killer. You should fear me and bow before me. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
And in fact, Kratos, a lot of the time, he is stern, he is strict with his son, but a lot of the times he doesn't really know how to act with him, It's like it's very obvious that he's more used to being gruff, tough, and in general very disconnected from people. But when it comes to his son, there's this level of, I don't know what the hell I'm doing to him. Like each time he tries to speak to his son in a that's anything to do outside of combat or aggression or anything like that, there is hesitation, there is attempts to be a fatherly figure, but a lot of it just kind of, well, he comes off as a very antisocial person, and when you think back to what he's done, kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. It's just, he did kind of destroy Greece. That there was that whole thing over there. However, there is something I do like about this game. And what I like about it is that Kratos, well, first off, his son is, he's a young god. That's pretty obvious. And Kratos is actually trying, well, he's a bit scared of that notion. Not because, oh, my son will kill me. No. He's scared of what his son will become, exactly like him. So he actually, go ahead.
I said, yeah.
Oh, sorry. So he is trying to teach him how to be a good person. The irony in that is extremely delicious.
Yep.
Kratos trying to teach someone how to be good. Fuck off. It's like, okay, where was all that good nature back in Greece? Where was all that?
Well, to be honest, the gods in Greece are assholes.
Oh no, the gods in the north. It's like this is apparently a thing with all gods. They're all assholes, even in the Norse. That's
the Norse are their own thing. They're their own
No,
can
no,
of
no,
worms. Jesus Christ.
no. Here's the funny thing about this: Thor is a dick,
Yeah.
like flat out. And like, I want to know this is like, is every lightning god out there just naturally a dick? Is this a thing? Is this always what's going to happen?
I can't say it's the same for Native American mythology. Me right there. Because with Native American mythos, they're all animals, and it's understandable if they're a dick.
Isn't that the Thunderbird? Is that
the Thunderbird? Yeah.
Is that it? Okay.
A giant eagle that when it flaps its wings, it causes thunder and lightning.
You see, I know what I'm talking about. Sort of.
But again, they're animals, so it's natural for them to be dicks because that's what they do.
Exactly. However, that said, in God of War 4, again, I don't know Norse mythos as much as Greek mythos, so I might be getting this horribly, horribly wrong. But apparently, in the Norse mythology, at least in God of War 4, there was a war between the gods, two apparently different races of gods. Odin gets married to Freya to create peace. However, he is enraged with the giants because they didn't take any side in the war. And the giants just wanted to live, relatively in peace and away from the conflict. So Odin, both in fear and rage, has two dwarven brothers create for him a weapon that can kill giants. And then he gives that weapon to his son, Thor, who then goes on a genocidal spree, killing every giant he sees, except, and this leads to them having to seal away their, what do they call those bridges? Bifrost.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seal Jotunheim away from the rest of the world because, they fear Thor, they fear what he does. So they go away. Now, this has relevance, believe it or not, because one of the giants, apparently the great giant blacksmith, his body is still out there, and it's so large that it has, basically in the game, you have a, what's it called? This game is open world, as expected. However, his body is so large that there is a full model of it on the map. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'll show. Here, I'll give this image here to give some context. If you want to put it up, go ahead. What?
I will.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, he is a Thamor. In fact, even Mimir tells his story and explains, like, what was it? He had a son. Thamor wanted his son to be a smith like him, or something like that. Kid runs off in the night. He goes off to find him, encounters Thor in the dead of night. Thor kills him, and his body crushes a village that worshipped the giants. Again, what a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, and by the way, that is a level too, just so everyone.
Climbing on a giant?
Yeah, basically, his head, Thor killed him by taking his, the chisel, like what a stonemason would use.
Uh-huh.
He took that from him and then used the hammer to smash the chisel through his head. And basically, you see how his head is laying. Actually, you can see the chisel right there above the brow. You see that chunk right there sticking out?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, Kratos and his son need to find. They need to take a piece of that enchanted chisel so they can open a door to some place. Like, it's another gameplay thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the ice is so thick they can't. Not even Kratos can break the ice. Aha, pun. Unintentional. So they see Thalmor's hammer is still in the air, but it's suspended like with these little straps and things like that that's keeping it up. So they climb up the hammer, break off the straps, but the hammer gets stuck on the mountainside. And I kid you not, they get it down. Kratos and his son get it down to crash on the ice by pushing it. They literally push a giant's hammer with their bare strength.
Wow.
I knew Kratos was strong, but his son is insane. It's like, okay, I see you. I see you also feed your son steroids too. Perfect. Anyway, hammer falls down. They go down and they just take a chunk of the chisel. The game. I will say this: the game, story-wise, at least from what little I've seen, is very well done. Kratos acts in a believable way. He acts like a man who regrets his actions, so much to the point that he's what once brought him great pride and joy as victorious conquests fills him with nothing but shame, to the point where he actually wants to hide it from his son. He in fact he even takes off his swords and hides them underneath his house so his son never sees them. That is how much he is haunted by his own past. And personally, I find that incredibly fitting. When they do, what's the word? Eventually, in fact, they even go to, again, Kratos' past does appear a lot. And when they do go to what is the Norse equivalent of hell, actually, I think it is just called hell, like Hel, Helheim. Zeus is in hell. Let
What?
that sink in Zeus is in hell.
You cut out for that, but now we know. Yeah, Zeus is in hell.
Yeah, it's kind of fitting when you think about it. But at the same time, it's kind of like, the fuck? How? Again, it opens all this huge can of worms, again, of why Zeus is there and how he got there. You know? Just questions beyond questions. And of course, his son sees it, and eventually Kratos just basically comes clean after a while, explains what he is, what he did, and begs his son to be better than him. I mean, the kid has his dark moments when he discovers he's a god. Like he kills one of, and by the way, you do fight Thor's sons, Magni and Modi. You fight them, you kill Magni, and his son kills Modi. But of course, he does it in this very like cold and callous way. And Kratos is enraged with him. He basically calls the kid out, and he tells them that what he did wasn't right. And the kid basically asks him why not. We're gods, we can do what we want. And Kratos immediately scolds him and says, no, we have to be better. Again, imagine if this was still 20-year-old Kratos. It would have said he did a good job. Anyway, the kid comes to terms with these powers, and the story is very basic, very simple, and the goal is reached. I mean, a lot of the enemies you kill in this God of War are kind of just like in the way, Like
Yeah.
it just kind of, they just happen across your path. It's not like Kratos is actively looking to destroy them. It's more like, okay. And again, this also comes in an issue with the, what's it called? This also comes in issue with God of War going open world. A lot of these, what's the word I'm looking for here? A lot of these fights and monsters and all that stuff, again, it feels really out of place. And I guess this can now go into what I have a bit of an issue with, and that is God of War for the longest time has always been. There's something for.
That's people on the stairs.
All right. Okay. But this is what I'm talking about. With God of War has always been a series that has been focused on, it's always been not even a railroad. It's always been a series where you are railroaded through the level. You are never going through, you never have to leave the beaten path. You're always walking around. You have no option to walk around or anything. You just see everything on a linear path and keep moving forward. Solve puzzles, fight enemies, kill enemies. That's always how it's been. This new God of War is open world. And to me, I'm not going to say it doesn't feel right. That's like extremely hyperbolic. No, it's more like it feels weird. And to me, it feels slightly out of place with what God of War has been up until this moment.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's an odd change. It's interesting. The story is, for the most part, maybe you could say it's the best part of the outside of the combat, and yeah, you'd be right. But it does feel strange when you sit down and really think about it. Not only that, but I should also mention this. This is the one God of War, at least story-wise, where you only kill 3 people. That's
Oh,
it.
wow. I remember you mentioning this.
Exactly. And this isn't like, and I'm not saying like, no, not every creature you face isn't killed violently. No. That still happens. You can still do that. But in terms of like the story, it's only 3 people. And even then, the deaths are not, they're so tamed that I was sitting there like, wait, that's it? First off, you've got the Magni and Modi fight, where basically Kratos disarms Magni and then slams the axe into the guy's head. The camera moves to a certain way that it's slightly off screen, so it's like a almost censored in a way.
Well,
Again, that go ahead.
in comparison to like the previous games, I don't really think there's a problem with there being not much blood in the story kills. Like there's
Uh,
enough blood in the previous games to account for the new one.
yeah, but what I find it strange is that up until this moment, you've always every enemy you fought, like quote unquote big bad enemy, like the mooks and all that stuff. They've had horrible deaths and horrible like finisher kills. Like one of the enemies, Kratos basically forces them to the ground, like kicks them down, uses his weapon, grabs their weapon, and then slams it down, and you just head burst underneath the weapon. Like it's just a pool of blood that shoots out to you. That's what I mean. It's a strange inconsistency for the cinematic kill. And then you have when Kratos kills the other brother, he stabs him in the neck once and then kicks him off a bridge. And that's about it. Again, this makes sense in terms of the kid because, again, he's a kid. I don't think, now what's the word? I don't think the kid would actually be able to punch him to death. It's kind of obvious.
Mm-hmm.
The last, what's the word? But the last boss that you do kill is Kratos just snaps his neck. That's it. No head ripping, no blades in the face, nothing. Just and this is the weird thing. Basically, Kratos wants to end kids killing their parents, at least in terms of gods. So he grabs the guy, by the way, this is Balder, just so we're clear. And he's about to strangle his mother, Freya, to death. Because, he hates her because she basically robbed his life of feeling. I don't know, it's weird. Don't question it too much.
Yeah.
So, again, Kratos snaps his neck to quote-unquote end the cycle. And that's about it. Again, I find this very strange. I mean, I get the context of why he would just snap the guy's neck and not make it violent, to kind of spare both the mother and his own son. But at the same time, I find it strange that he just says what he says. That's it. I mean, what? Not only that, you also got Odin and Thor who are gunning for some reason. I mean, maybe it's because they know who he is and they want to stop him before he, before he decides to kill all the Norse gods like he did with the Greeks. That makes sense. At the same time, it's very much like, what the fuck, guys? What the fuck? So yeah, overall, I think my only beef with this new God of War, the choice from making it from the original, like basically being railroaded down level hallways to the next amazing cinematic fight and death to an open world, and then the strange lack of amazing over-the-top kills in the story. Outside of that, I think overall it's pretty good, and I look forward to the next entry, if there is one. I don't know why I said if there is one. This game is selling like hotcakes as we speak. There is going to be a next one. Part of me is hoping that Kratos is an old one, and I mean like senile. We'll call it Granddad of War. Anyway, you got anything you want to say about this? Anything at all?
I'm silently watching the video I just sent you.
Yeah, I know. Again, sorry, folks, that we're dragging these out. We do have a third person supposed to be joining. That's our last topic up until this next one. Let me check in with him again. Again, I don't want to be the one just talking for all this. It's going to get very boring.
I know.
People will look at me and say, "The fuck is this? What is his issue?"
I can't believe I silently watched that video. I'm not linking it in the description or in the chat. Is why.
Yeah. I know.
Still nothing on him?
No, he's offline. He sent me a thing. He's on his way home, but that was like, let me see.
You message him again?
Yeah, I just now. The last one he sent back that said he's on 30 minutes. I don't know. Should we save this for another time or just go on?
Well, we've waffled so much, we might as well just say this for next time.
All right. This is a first on our show. We're actually saving a topic for another time.
The show is still pretty new, so yeah, this is gonna be the first time we've done it.
Oh, God. All right. Well, sorry, folks, we didn't get to, unless he appears in like the next 5 seconds.
I doubt
and
it.
says, No. All right, I'll let him.
You say that you're just sitting there staring intently at your phone.
No, my computer. Just get on your phone. We've decided to save this for next Wednesday. Sorry.
Don't put up the outro image just yet.
Why not?
Because we're still talking.
Well, we could make it out of the blue other topic. And
I can't think of anything, and there's actually stuff I need to be doing.
Well, then never mind. We're fucked.
Yeah, we need to end it now.
All right. Hopefully this doesn't happen next Wednesday as well.
If it does, then we're just going to completely drop the Dark Souls 1 thing for a while.
Yeah, until such a time he actually
PlayStation versus Xbox?
What, right now?
Your dad put something in chat. That's a debate that actually doesn't just go with PlayStation versus Xbox. There's also a Nintendo, and all three of them are their own can of worms that we try to be very careful about.
No, I think we can be neutral. Both. Actually, he just messaged me back. Oh, he's home. All right.
Well, what I can say about PlayStation versus Xbox, both are good in their own way. They both have their own little formula for it. Sometimes they'll mess up and get the entire world angry at them. Sometimes they do right, sometimes they do wrong, stuff like that. Personally, I'm indifferent to whatever console I use. I mostly use the PC anyway. But I am a PlayStation 2 person, I am a Sega Genesis person, and I am a GameCube person. That's it. Now we just gotta wait and see if our friend is gonna be in.
Yeah. He's on his way. Just give him a moment. For my own 2 cents, I grew up with PlayStation. The original PlayStation, PS2.
Same.
Yeah, and what's the word? My brother. Give me a second.
Oh boy.
I might add him to the call room right now, since it's easier.
Alright, just so everybody knows, I don't know anything about Dark Souls. Every time we talk about it, I start craving tamales. So when his friend joins in, I'm gonna go away for a bit until it's done.
Alright, there we go.
Hello?
Hello?
What the?
Hello, Obed.
Hello.
Alright, shall I disappear?
What? Okay, what I'm missing?
We are almost about done. We were gonna hang on. I'm gonna send you the link to the live stream as well. We were just about finished with our show. Again, we were waiting on you, man.
Oh shit.
We were fucking around, wasting time.
Shit. I was on my job. I'm sorry.
That's alright.
Yeah, it got me good. Like I was, I was making out some papers on the office, making, how to say, the different chemicals. I was trying to I was trying to get in order, and then my boss let me like putting the chemicals in one place, making order in the papers, checking the storage, and I was like, fuck, damn
it. It's like, again. No, I'm just finding it funny. You tell me, oh, no problem. Just wait till 10. It's 11. Good job.
Okay.
It's almost
I'm
minute.
sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, it's
No,
fine.
it's alright. It's alright. Job comes first.
Exactly. You need the money
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
to pay for your addiction
it's
to
fucking
Dark
brutal.
Souls.
It's fucking brutal nowadays. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so while we're on the subject, our topic here is for Dark Souls Remastered, and I guess our thoughts on Dark Souls 1 specifically.
Woo! Yeah.
Rev,
Yes?
send me a picture that I can use for him.
Uh,
Or should I
that's
look
gonna
up
be
a
one
picture?
Hang on, that's the thing. You see the armor he's wearing in the group thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like his thing. That's his avatar in a way.
I know. I need to find a picture to use.
All right, all
Oh,
right.
Yoru sent me one. I remember now. He sent me one.
With
Huh?
me?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yes.
What was it?
It was
Just
two
remind
guys
me.
standing next to each other.
Oh yeah, the gold armor. One has a cape. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the same set. Anyway,
Oh,
so
okay.
no, sorry. I was just kind of okay.
Okay.
As you can see, no, as you can see on screen, we just bring up these images for reference for our friends.
All right.
Anyway,
Alright, I'm going
So-
to mute myself and go away because I don't know anything of Dark Souls, so enjoy them. And just tell me if you need something to come up on screen. All the links are already distributed.
So
mhm.
what? Are we online right now?
Yes, we're live. They can hear
Holy
us. They can
oh,
hear
fuck.
you.
Oh god damn it! I didn't know like we will be like open audience. Holy shit!
We've been
God.
doing this for 3 hours, waiting on you.
Okay. Okay, focus. Oof, okay.
Ugh.
Shit. I didn't prepare myself for this shit. God damn it. Alright.
I gave you a 5-hour advance, man. What the hell have you been doing?
Working on my damn office.
A likely story.
Yeah, actually.
Anyway. All right, so
Okay, what are the topics to discuss?
the Dark Souls 1 remaster, our thoughts, what we think about it, and Dark Souls 1 in general. Like
Mhm.
what we liked about the game, what we don't like about it, et cetera, et cetera.
Uh-huh.
All right, you want to start off?
With what topic exactly do we start off? Like the gameplay, the story, or?
I guess we'll talk about what we think about what we've seen of the remaster so far, our general thoughts about that.
Well, I think it's okay. Like if I don't know, like if From Software actually wants to make more money, by just making to look Dark Souls 1 beauty or with more high resolution, like I think it's a smart move from part of them.
I like the idea of them remaking the game because, my God, I mean, you port models from the fucking game. You've seen the quality they're in.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like they should retexture the whole damn thing. And I don't know. It was a game from what 2011. It was fucking good at the time it just came out. But to be honest, what I feel more is like they should more than a remaster. They should like fix some stuff that got or at least change some stuff that got too OP or too unbalanced from the whole gameplay.
I see.
Like I don't know, for an example, the backstate should be rebalanced because the whole thing about just turning around and just pressing RB and the action will execute, it was too fucking OP, and for the newcomers it was like no chance. Like the shit got so fucking spammed as fuck that it was fucking impossible to get along with a good fight, with someone honest. Say a normal PvP and honorable people, like the whole fucking thing just got nuts.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And it was especially worse if the net and the internet was just terrible.
Oh, the boy, I should tell you all of my tales when I got fucked up because some random faggot was wearing that fucking hacked crystal sword. and
Jesus Christ.
my connection, my fucking connection, got me the worst of myself when it lagged the fuck out, and at the point that I wasn't seeing the motherfucker moving, and then second after that, I just died. Like it didn't even fucking move, and I just died so suddenly.
Oh God. Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
like, I just died because a motherfucker got a crystal sword, but it was hacked. That's what really mapped me out. Like, dude, motherfucker, play the game honestly. Play the game honorable, motherfucker. You got a fucking sword that gets you half of the life with a single shot.
Mm. I think, in my opinion, I think what they should do to balance the backstab is actually, you know how whenever you go to two-handed weapon, you put your shield on your back?
Uh-huh.
That's what it should be. Like the shield actually protects the back. Not perfect.
Oh yeah, also, yeah. Like I don't know, when receiving some arrow in your back, but you get the shield on your fucking back, that the shield actually make the effect of covering your back, because goddamn it, it's a fucking shield.
Exactly. Like this is how, to keep that balance too. It should take stamina away when it gets hit.
Yeah.
So that way, it's not like, okay, now I just turtle up and they can't hit me.
Yeah.
That's what I think they should do, especially with the backstab.
It will be fucking cool, you know, like what Dark Souls 2 made with the modality, or well, the how to say the how to say, what I call, with the way how they manage, I don't know, two-handed or dual wielding in this case. Like it was
Yeah.
a smart move. Fucking like they nailed it good. Like in no fucking other Dark Souls games, that ability or skill or mod or whatever you want to call it, the style of gameplay was
Uh-huh.
a was a freaking free for all. Like whatever you want to equip and make mixture about, it will be fucking amazing and will be actually, you know, cool. Like if you wanted, I don't know, to make duo with a mace and a katana, holy shit, you're free to go, and it's like a free win because the game is allowing you to go mad with the system. That was actually a smart move from Dark Souls 2.
Exactly. Yes. And I think that if they implement at least that into the game, it will make things so much better. You know, to avoid the griefers, the lag spike, just in general. That's
Oh
what
yeah.
needs to happen.
And one thing that it was made good in Dark Souls 2 was the backstep, because instead of just pressing RB and winning your connection, like winning the lag on the pressing on the backstep action, instead of
Mhm.
making that, they actually added the option that it was a hit. Like if the hit was directed in the back and it got in, the fucking backstep animation will be realized. But if that wasn't a thing and you actually dodged that attack or that hit, you didn't got the backstep. Like
Exactly. It won't go. It won't connect.
yeah, that's fucking like, it was a plus for me when I say like, oh yeah, Dark Souls 2 got some improvements in the PvP, you know, in the PvP area. Like
Exactly.
okay, let's say Dark Souls 2 wasn't, you know, wasn't the best Soul series. Like they got really lame with the IA, with the map designs. Like they fucking actually looked like incomplete.
And the
And
enemy selection.
yeah, and I understand that because it was fucked up. They got really lazy with the whole thing.
They did.
It's a great game. It's a good game. I won't deny that. But it's no, like it feels like incomplete or the weakest from the Soul series.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand that completely. And to be honest, if they get this remaster right, like not only make everything look pretty, but actually balance some things out and make it worth playing, they could make more money with the re-release than they would with the
Yeah,
original release. And
yeah.
actually, while on that subject, I also would like to see some new, not new enemies like, you know, oh, now we have this headless knight that chases you. No, I mean like things that were cut from the original game, put back in, like certain creatures, certain places that make sense, and actually make the enemies more unique to certain areas. Like keep demons in demon specific regions or
Yeah.
skeletons here. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that also, because it doesn't got no sense that, I don't know, first you are in some how to call, in some like bar or place where there are how to call, like bartenders and tables where drinks are infilled, and there are pirates, well, dead pirates in this case, and then so suddenly changed directly to a place where you find fucking abominations with long arms that got you
Exactly.
bleed from out of nowhere, like, dude, and they got fucking more points than you. It's like, dude,
Exactly.
that doesn't have no fucking sense.
Exactly.
Or worse, that you can find cyan knights, you can
Mhm.
find cyan knights in all fucking across Drunk Lake. Like, what are they doing in there?
Exactly. This is the problem that Dark Souls 2 and 3 would have, and even to extent, I would say one, with very specific areas. There were
Yeah,
moments in, I would say, Dark Souls 1, just creatures that just made no sense in terms of like, why are they here? What is the point of this?
yeah. Like, they just got lazy and said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna release the new DLC, Scholar of the First Sin." But
Mhm.
instead of actually fixing stuff or making more creativity ways to, I don't know, to connect the maps, no, we're just gonna change some enemies and we're gonna just add new stuff. Like, yeah, it's an epic win. Like, everyone's gonna get well. Like, no, it's the fucking same game with more stuff, with more stuff. Like, and that fucking, I don't know how much is in the USA or another parts of the world, but in fucking Mexico is like 1,000 for the same fucking game, but with
Exactly.
some armor and two weapons. Like, dude,
This is what I'm hoping the re-release does, and that is basically release the DLC from Dark Souls 1, and there's like no catch to it. It's just here's what was it? Artorias of the Abyss. There, no
Artorias of
extra.
the Abyss. Uh huh.
Exactly. There's no okay. Here's the game, but now you have to pay for the DLC again. No. If they do that, then I'm officially calling it the worst remake
Uh huh.
ever. Yeah, no. Personally, like I said, I want to see this remake come forward. I want to see what they change with it and everything. And if it's worth the money, I'll say, you know what? Buy it again. It is worth your money. And if this does well, we could get remakes of 2 and 3. And that would be amazing.
I mean, for what I heard, it's a remaster, so they are not gonna change anything from the game.
Ah, so it's
So
just graphical appearance.
yeah, so it's just graphical appearances. Like, it's gonna be Dark Souls, but in 4K HD.
You know what? I'd be happy with that. I
In
would
my
love to see that.
in my recommendation for those who actually missed the second and third game, well, I'm not fucking retarded. The second game or the first game or the second game, I would recommend that people who just played Dark Souls 3 because shit and giggles, because it got famous like Fortnite or those games that are getting famous because of the people or the YouTubers.
Mhm.
I would recommend them to play Dark Souls 1 because, goddamn it, is like returning back to old roots. It's like returning back to fucking Demon Souls.
Exactly, without it being, Demon Souls. I
Yeah,
agree.
it's like being Demon Souls, but without being Demon Souls.
You
Yeah.
know what? You know what? I'm going to say this right now. I think Demon Souls is harder than Dark Souls 1. I really do.
Um,
Not because not hang on, not because
yeah,
the
yeah,
enemies are challenging. It's because everything in the game is so chaotic.
yeah. I agree on that.
Exactly. The UI is your greatest enemy.
Like, I don't know if people remember this or they actually, like the time when you find out to fight back this motherfucker, the Tower Knight. The time to
Exactly.
find out the fucking Tower Knight that you don't see no fucking entrances to actually get above the platform and take off first the archers and then the motherfucking Tower Knight. Because you must, it's like the same thing that you do with the Capra demon. You first need to take down the minions, and then you actually go for the mighty
Focus on
boss.
the enemy. Exactly.
Yeah, focus on the motherfuckers that are just there to bother you the fuck out. And then after you deal with those motherfuckers, you actually can deal with the big papa, with the big boss.
Exactly. And that is, and personally, I feel like that is missed with Dark Souls. Because a lot of the bosses are very much, here he is, go forward, kill him, end of story.
The only one that did got really challenged and actually was unfair as fuck was the Capra Demon. The first times I just deal it with.
Exactly. Because the area is very small. Second, the dogs and the Capra Demon himself are extremely difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'll say this: the other, like, quote unquote puzzle boss of Dark Souls 1, I think, is interesting but not fun to fight. Is the Bed of Chaos.
The Bed of Chaos. It's a motherfucking puzzle more than a boss.
Yeah, but it does say, what's the word? It is basically, okay, here's this enemy, try to figure out how to kill it. But at the same time, it can be very frustrating to fight.
Yeah. It's because you're not supposed to fight it, just to realize what the shit you need to do. Like, okay, I'm seeing the fucking branches that are shining as fuck. So do I attack them or do I keep myself away and focus on the big motherfucker with giant arms?
Exactly.
It's more a puzzle more than a boss, actually.
No. The big thing that makes it difficult isn't so much trying to fight it. It's getting to the areas you need to get to without getting hit by the fucking arms.
And you just get, like try to land on that tree that is, like your bridge.
Exactly.
So the little demon that is actually the bed of chaos and not just the pure image, and actually that the fucking arms get you aside from the platform is really the most frustrating thing from the whole boss.
Exactly. It is just no. In fact,
No.
I think Miyazaki himself said this was the one boss he regretted adding to the game and like flat out hates.
Lame as fuck, agree.
I'm picturing him now just looking at every boss and then saying, yes, I am proud of all of my children. And then you just see the Bed of Chaos behind him, just very sad.
Yeah. The one motherfucker you said you was adopted.
Exactly. Just turn around and violently shout that.
Yeah.
And it actually shrivels up a bit like a plant.
Yeah.
No, actually, there is one thing I would like to see this remaster do, and that is add a few more animations to some of the NPCs.
Yeah.
Like some of okay, what is the name of Gwyn's daughter in Dark Souls 1?
Guinevere.
Guinevere. Wait, was it Guinevere or Gwyndo? Yeah, Guinevere.
Guinevere. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I always get the names mixed up because I don't know which one is for the trap and which one is actually for the daughter. Yeah, I said it. I didn't take it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What happened? I'm sorry. I just missed a few seconds. I'm sorry.
Oh, I cut out. Sorry. I said, I always get the names confused because, I don't know which one is for the trap and which one is for the actual daughter.
Guinevere, Gwyndolin, Gwyn, and the bastard son.
I always just assumed it was like Gwai or something like that.
I don't fucking know. Like his name is not said. The only thing that we know is that there is actually a statue that is like it was removed from the old cathedral. That is the statue where the old son of Gwyn, the oldest son of Gwyn, was. Yeah, the eldest son of Gwyn was, like it was Gwyn. It was the bastard son that got no name, or the nameless king, whatever you want to call it. Guinevere, and then Gwyndolin, who was the
the secret son,
the youngest. Yeah, the trap, the fucking trap.
The fucking trap. And I just see you pissed off every time whenever you have to talk about him. Like I'm picturing you going through the castles, and then the moment you see him, your eyes bug out of the helmet, and you're just glaring at him with the biggest death stare. I don't. By the way, to answer your question, HH, I don't know. Gwyn is a conceited fuck.
Oh no.
I just. Do you see what she wrote in the stream? Like on the video?
I mean, I just felt like it was, you know, let's see what I call it. I just feel like it was some improvised boss because since you can see that Gwendolyn actually has the same music boss or music theme as the Moonlight Butterfly. So I think it's more like an improvised boss. Like they actually didn't got the idea of you fighting the the god of the what it
Dark
was
Moon.
of the Dark Moon. Yeah, the god of the Dark Moon. So I think it was more like an improvised boss. Since you can also out the room that it was supposed to be infinite, but you can actually outrun the whole hallway until he can until the part that he can teleport any more further because there are no more rooms.
Exactly. I think, to be honest, I think that the Dark Moon song, was added in because we know the Dark Souls 1 had a lot of like cut things and cut designs and so on and so forth. And what I think it was that originally that room was supposed to be part of some other fight. In fact, I think it was supposed to be for the oh god, the Dark Lord model that we see. You know, you know the model I'm talking about, right?
I think. I don't exactly get what you mean, but I think.
In the game's files, there is a lot of cut enemies for Dark Souls 1, and one of them is titled um, Hollow Lord or Hollow King.
Hollow Lord.
Actually, hold on, HH, if you could still hear me, I'm going to bring this up just so we can show the audience.
Yeah, because I don't know, like Hollow Lord.
Yeah, it was. Oh god. Let me try cut content. Hold on, because I remember seeing this.
Maybe you mean this one. Oh, fuck, damn it. God damn it.
Did you send it to the wrong chat?
Huh? No, it got me another picture. It got me another picture when I wanted. Okay.
I got it.
Okay, I got it.
We all got it.
There we go. It's this motherfucker.
I already posted it.
That one.
Yeah, this is the one.
I don't remember the name, but it was supposed to be the true king of the old New London. You know, like instead of fighting four kings, you were supposed to fight this motherfucker. That's why the four kings look so alike. You know, his armor and his looking,
exactly,
as well as yeah.
That's one thing. It's like, okay, that makes more sense than just being in the void fighting these fuckers all the time.
Yeah, like you're fighting phantoms, or what exactly? What are exactly they?
I think what I honestly think it is that because the kings kept, doing the life hunt and all that shit, that their souls got merged into one being, similar to kind of like how Pinhead can separate itself. Same kind of thing. That's what I assume.
But I mean, like, dude, that doesn't have no fucking sense. Like, you're telling me at the very beginning that you're not able to fight back ghosts because you're not connected with them, and you need these pieces of shit things that they actually drop when you kill them, but you need a fucking sword or something to make them damage. Like, I don't know, the Artorias. I think it was the Bewitched. The
Artorias. No. It was the Artorias Covenant ring. It was a ring.
No. But that ring is actually to drop on the abyss without dying. But what I mean is a weapon or something to make or deal damage against the ghosts.
Oh, yeah, I know. Occult weapons.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember. It was.
Go ahead.
Let me try. It was.
All right. Since I found something, it's only fair you find something.
Mm,
And like I said, this is it. This is the problem with Dark Souls 1 when it comes to certain things. It's this incredibly archaic and craziness to the game that just makes it so uninteresting to play. Like you actually need a guide in order to do certain things, or actually buckle down and read item descriptions. Yeah, that's it. The ghost sword.
yeah, and there is actually a ghost dagger, but you find that one from the ghost lady, the one that screams as fuck and creeps the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And I think that is the one ghost that like shoot like I don't know, like white pellets or don't fucking know.
I always assumed it was like some sort of fucked up magic.
Yeah, like soul mass or some shit like.
Ugh, God. Like I said, Dark Souls 1 has its issues, and if this can mitigate those issues in any way, shape, or form, I will be so happy. Because I just cannot deal with some of the bullshit that game throws at you. And not because it's difficult, it's just because it's so obtuse.
I mean, like, I understand that thing. Oh, okay. Like yeah, I understand that thing because sometimes the game can be fucking cryptic as shit. Like,
Exactly.
like, do you remember? Do you remember the what it was? The Crystal Cave?
The Great Stone Cave?
No, the Crystal Cave.
The Crystal, yeah, in Fighting Sea.
Is before fighting Seat Scales.
Mhm.
So before the patches and before the From Software team actually got into their brains that making an invisible bridge wasn't exactly the smartest idea. Yeah, like that's what I mean. After the patches or after the I don't know after they figured out that wasn't the smartest idea, they started instead of making I don't know some way to find out the way how you can go through the whole thing, the whole map, without falling and dying like a miserable death. Like they thought in that time that people will have the time, the patience to figure out to see that if you pay enough attention to the shine things that are dropping from the I don't know from the roof of the cave or whatever, and if they actually drop the if they actually drop and hit with something, you will understand that there is something in there, and it's not just part of the environment, but it's actually an invisible bridge. I don't remember
Exactly.
the shiny things that were dropping from the sky or the roof of the cave.
Yeah, I know what
But
you're talking about. The
but
thing, yeah.
that was the only way to figure out that it was an invisible bridge there. Other than that, if you didn't pay enough attention and you was just I don't know some random kid trying to be cool and play the edgy game,
Ugh.
like you won't ever fucking go through the entire game because there will be still set scales that you won't figure out never unless you watch some YouTube video.
Exactly. This is the problem with Dark Souls. This is a game that you could very easily you can't play without getting spoiled. You have to go out of your way to find out shit online, and that ruins it for you because at that point you're like, okay, what else am I missing? And then you skip ahead, and then you start realizing more and more of the shit, and it just gets ruined. You're just
Yeah,
sitting there like, oh shit, now what?
yeah. I mean,
Like I
I mean,
said,
I mean, the cryptic shit are in the game. It makes it cool, but when it is easy to figure out, not like you waste an entire hour just trying to get along with how the physics of the world or how the shit it happens around, it fucking actually works because people don't get nor time nor patience to actually figure out.
exactly. And unless here's the thing, unless you're a German spy, if you know the guy, or Plague of Grapes, who waste their time doing this for a job and career,
Uh huh.
you're going to be sitting there more pissed off, and then you're more likely to throw your controller
Me likely.
very violently, and then by some miracle, kill the random pigeon that was just out there.
Yeah.
Specifically, you just hit the pigeon, nothing else.
Yeah, I got you.
But no, like I said, I admit I love everything Dark Souls 1 does story-wise. Even as cryptic as it is, I love piecing together what it gives you and just creating whatever the hell kind of story you think would fit the most.
Same.
That's something I've loved about Dark Souls 1, but at the same time, there needs to be some level of concreteness to to the world. I mean, it's all good to create a very cryptic world. There's no problem with that, but it's very, very poor writing to just say, oh, the stories of Juice, or it's unknown, or just bullshit like that, because at the end, because you're just hiding your inability to write.
No, yeah, I agree on that.
It's just terrible. Oh, by the way, there is one. Well, speaking of theories, there is one theory I want to share, and again, this is completely baseless. And again, this could be for anyone who's in, if you're still here. I theorize that the undead asylum that we start the game at, what if that is actually connected or is part of the Ring City?
Who is what? Again? Who is that question again? Like,
what if the undead asylum is connected to the Ring City? Like, not directly, but it's like somewhere near it.
The undead asylum connecting with the Ring City.
Yes.
I see it hard to to picture the whole thing, because the Ring City is like positioned in some kind of island, some kind of island or peninsula. I don't fucking know. I know nothing about the geography of the Dark Souls universe, but what I know is that it's way too far from what we know that it is Lordran. No, wait, Drangleic, I'm sorry, is way too far and near the place we know as Drangleic.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time is far from what we know from what we knew, I'm sorry, as Lordran. Because
Exactly.
Lordran is supposed to be in the same place or alike or nearby, I don't fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, since time changes, the whole constructions and different civilization changes as well. So what I think is like Lordran and Lothric are in the same place or alike, nearby, or whatever you want to call it, the same place. While Drangleic is kinda nearby, but at the same time far away.
This is what I've always assumed. Drangleic is specifically an ocean away from Lordran. That is very clear. And the giants, like, this is what I assume. I assume that Lordran is like its own continent. The island of the giants is somewhere in between the two regions. So that's how certain giants could appear in one area and look different, and so on and so forth. And I assume the Ring City is in some sort of weird limbo because of the time distortion. However, my stance for the asylum, it could be a sort of port city, something that was a part of the Ring City but was separated due to the time. And because of that, it's more like, kind of like a dock that connects the ocean to the city itself, but separated. That's what I assume it is.
I see it hard. You know why? Because the Undead Asylum was on a mountain and it was snowy. It was like in winter time. While here in the Rain City is actually tropical area or something alike, like Ecuador, shit alike. Like
it's very humid.
Yeah, so I don't find out a way or how to connect to both places. It's kind of hard because of their architecture and their position.
And geography as well.
Yeah, geography.
I understand. Believe me, I wish From Software would just give us a fucking map. The series is over. Just give us the fucking map.
Yeah. Like God damn it, not even the fucking internet you can actually find out a good geography or a map about the whole fucking thing. Like if you actually if you actually think about it, Skyrim gives you, I don't know, a good map about how the whole continent is. Dungeons and Dragons gives you a good map about how Faerun is, about how the whole continents that are around the place
Exactly.
are
Yes,
kind
I
of
know.
like I don't know. Do you remember this old continent where I don't know America, Europe, uh, Oceania, and the rest, Africa, and the rest of the other continents were unit? Like that is kind of exactly Faerun,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it's mapped correctly. They give you actually how it looks in the world that is that is designed the whole thing. But actually,
Exactly.
Dark Souls doesn't.
Well, here's the thing. I know that Vati attempted to overlay Dark Souls 1's game map, like the map they give you for Lordran, with I think it's the collector's edition, versus the map for Dran Lake. And it didn't match up, which it proved that it wasn't the same location.
I agree.
So we have technically two maps for two different regions, but no world map, which is frustrating. Hell, even Demon Souls did the map thing correctly. The hell
Yeah.
happened? Like I said, I just wish that President Miyazaki would just come off his high horse and finally just give us some information to finally close the book on all this. That's
Yeah.
all I ask. That's all I want. Is that
Yeah.
so fucking hard? Like exactly. Like HH, go ahead and show that on stream. That image right there, because it proves a point. What is that? This
The whole map of Dark Souls 1.
exactly. This makes sense. All of this is what's the word? This is all possible. This all makes sense given the geography of the land. This is fine. Why couldn't we be given something like this in more detail? Or since Dark Souls 3 finally came out, why not give us a fucking world map and say, these are the lands of, I don't know, what were the other places? Like Karen and those other places, Vinheim, all that shit. Was it so freaking hard to do?
Yeah.
It's just
It's just fun art.
frustrating.
Yeah. It's like it's not exactly how to call uh official. It's just I don't know, some interpretations that some fans try to give. So how is there a link to the person who drew that? Yeah, is in the is in the URL.
URL.
Yeah, El Guapo 1999 or 91. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
So yeah, if they at least gave us, some kind of illustration, I don't know, in the exclusive editions, like I don't know, like in the Dark Souls 2, there was these exclusives about having the designs of the shields from the contest people, the ones who did the
Yeah,
contest
I remember.
about making the shield. You can actually get the book of the illustrations and stuff and designs from enemies and stuff like that in the exclusive version of Dark Souls 2, and also the black armors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to do this. I saw this and I couldn't pass it up.
Fucking Undertale.
Sorry, folks, that you can't see that one. But anyway, no, I get what you mean. This, like I said, Dark Souls has already run its course. The world fucking ended with 3. We can't go any further with this now. Like, it is very clearly obvious that Miyazaki wants to end this. How Dark Souls 3 pushes the concept of the world needs to die.
Yeah.
So it's over. Dark Souls, at least this series is finished. Just give us the information, close the book, and let us focus on Bloodborne 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
I agree on that.
very violently, Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, straight to the point. I agree on that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think we've rambled quite a bit now. No offense, man, but I think we've run our topic quite well.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's already night time, so yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If you want to finish the call, it's cool.
All right. So, AJ, do you want to hop back in? AJ? I think she died.
No, I'm right here. Hi.
There
She was
she is.
found.
All right.
I've been putting
All right.
pigeons in the stream.
Yes, well, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry we took so long with this one. Actually, HH, how long streaming this for?
3 hours.
Holy shit.
I hate it when we do 3 hour streams. I really do.
I'm really sorry, guys. I tried to come the most fastest way possible on my home, but traffic was horrible. Work was horrible. My life is horrible. I am horrible. Yeah.
Well, of course it's horrible. You play Dark Souls.
Yeah. Just look at me. I already want to die.
Well, it couldn't be as bad as Flower Boy.
Well,
Well.
you've been spamming him all over the place. Stop that.
Shit. Fuck.
And so, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Next week we will have another stream.
Thank you for having me. You know, you and your girlfriend really went really cool and all. I really appreciate the call.
No problem, man. No problem. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining in, and see you next Wednesday.
Yep, every Wednesday. The links are all in the description. Voting for the next Gundam is at the bottom of the description, and also there is a blog there too.
Exactly. And don't forget, you got 1 week left to vote, people, so make it count.
Yep.
Later.
Bye.